Hi, and welcome to Faith into Greatness. Today, the Lord inspired me to talk about the importance of talking about what God has done in your life. A lot of people are ashamed to bring up things that they were facing, that challenged them, that were things that were roadblocks in their lives. Perhaps it was an addiction. Perhaps it was a really bad relationship or a job situation that was a terrible job situation. Perhaps you faced a really terrible divorce, or you dealt with a custody battle, your weight loss problem. Whatever it was, God delivered you from the problem that you had in your life, and you're staying quiet. God wants you to go out there and to share with the world how God has blessed you shamelessly. Hold back any fear of being judged by other people. People are suffering in this world, and if you could share your testimony about how God delivered you from drinking too much, or how God delivered you from being someone who was perhaps just didn't know your self-worth, or God delivered you from that problem that you had spending money unnecessarily. You didn't have good financial discernment. Perhaps you got your car repossessed. You lost a job, and the Lord delivered you from these things, and God brought into your life a new job. God made you new, and then rebuilt a stronger foundation. These are all things God wants you to share with the world. How else are we supposed to know about God's greatness if we can't share real life testimony about how God is moving in each and every one of our lives? In Mark 5:19, it says, "And he did not permit him, but said to him, 'Go home and tell to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you and how he has had mercy on you.'" Psalm 66:16 says, "Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for my soul." Luke 8:39 says, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And time again, we are instructed to let others know what God has done for us so that they understand that God won't forsake us, that God will always be by our side to help us. Let me share a funny story with you guys. So a really long time ago, I decided to go on something called a silent retreat. I didn't know it meant that for 3 straight days, I had to be silent, that I could only speak to other people that were at this retreat at specific times. I didn't even make it 24 hours and I was out of there. But the purpose of the silent part of the retreat was that so we could have quiet time with the Lord. It was to allow us time with God so God can bring to us enlightenment, wisdom, revelations, for us to pray to God. But you know what? I was good praying to God. I had no problem. I had tons of time, quiet time to pray to the Lord at that point in my life. But what was funny about it was there were so many women there, and it would have been so cool for each of us to get together and to share with one another our testimony and our stories about how God has moved in our lives during the difficult times, during the challenging times, how we didn't have to worry when we surrender to the Lord, right? God says your yoke is light when you surrender to God, meaning that your burdens are light. God has got you. To share these kind of stories with people so that they can have renewed hope and renewed faith in the Lord, I felt like that would have been a much better plan for this retreat for us women than for us being silent. When I was praying on it, the Lord said to me, the devil works in mysterious ways. See, like in that situation, it was more beneficial to the devil for us to not share our story about how the Lord has moved in our lives and has renewed us and answered our prayers and never forsaken us. That would have promoted what? God. It would have promoted more empowerment in the Lord. It would have promoted more people to seek God for guidance and for a relationship and to seek God continuously. And the same goes for each and every one of you. Sometimes you feel like you should be silent about what you've gone through and how God has moved in your life, perhaps because you don't want people to look at you weird or to think you're strange. None of that should matter. That's the devil working against you. And none of it should matter how people see you or what people view you as. Who cares? Please, if you're out here and God has saved you, you need to set aside your ego of caring what people think and start moving in a way to bring light into the world of how God moves in your life, how God has blessed you, blessed others around you. I hope this message blesses you all. Take care and God bless.